Your landing page is the most important page in your entire sales funnel. If you want to write copy on your landing page that actually converts into sales, you need to incorporate these 10 things into your landing page copy. Hey, I am Kathy Olson from Funnel Gorgeous, and today we're going to dive into the 10 things you need to have on your sales page and how to write them. All right, so let's just dive right in. If you want to follow along with us, we are looking at CourseChemist.com today, and we're using this as an example. This is a pretty classic example of a great written landing page, so this is why we want to show it to you. And this one has a really fun theme going to it. You can see it's very sciencey and like chemistry-ish, so feel free to have a theme on yours as well, but it's not needed. So I just really wanted to use this as kind of an overall. So the first thing you need is your headline. So a lot of people get this wrong. A lot of people get the headline wrong. What this is it's really like a call, like it's almost like a casting call, trying to like grab a net and throw it out and see like who this would be for. You're really trying to, right off the bat, as soon as they land on your landing page, let them know they're in the right place. Calling all whatever, like tired moms, right? You're trying to start to filter down who this is for, and your headline is a great place to do that. We have like almost like a sub headline here where stop putting off your digital course. That could be making you money for years to come. So you can have that too, but this is the main headline: how to turn your next course idea into a transformational experience for your students. So that's sort of the idea of the headline. You really want to grab them. Here's what we're going to talk about, and here's who it's for. And so you will immediately off the bat go, okay, yes, I want to turn my next course into a transformational experience. I have courses, I have students, and here's what I want. So it's kind of just like really qualifying. Number 2 is like the excuse. I know it's called a million other things, but I'm just going to call it that today, so I think it makes the most sense. So you're going to have a headline kind of, hey, this is for these people, here's what we're going to learn. And then number 2 is the excuse. Even if you've tried it, or without trying this, or without the headache, right? You're almost responding to the thought that just popped into their head. So we say how to turn your next course idea into a transformational experience for your students without, losing your mind, or without, building something for everyone, or without, spending a lot of time. Like you're almost giving them an excuse of what would have popped in their head. So ours is a little bit different, where we say brainstorm, build, and complete the best and most reliable course you've ever created in the next 4 weeks. And then what would they be thinking? Oh, well, maybe what if they've never built one before? Even if you've never built one before. So not only is it going to be for people who have built one before, it's going to be for people who even haven't built one before, right? And so this is like the number 2 is it's kind of the excuse or the objection, or what would pop in their mind. What have they tried before? Like even if you've tried this before, or even if every single time you've tried before you failed, right? Like you're kind of like walking through, I'm going to make this big claim, and then even you, yes, you, I'm talking to you. And so that's the excuse. So then you're going to dive into the problem. This is a bigger section. I'm not going to go over it like, line by line. Feel free to go to CourseChemist.com to see how we build the problem. But we talk about the problem of what happens with, we've built a bunch of courses, we've discovered some problems. So we have this actual periodic table of course creation confusion. So we did it in a visual way, but feel free to just write this out. Totally fine. We have lots of other videos talking about how to like design the copy, but we just did this in a really fun way because of the periodic table of elements. So it's like inclusions, you don't know what to include, the delivery method, how do you deliver it, the time and the energy, the platform. So we're showing the problems, right? So that's the third section is problems. And then you're going to start to transition into solution. So number 4 is solution. We're going to say, if you're thinking, how am I in your head? It's because we've seen it. But the good news is, and so it starts to change, like turn the tide. It goes to go from problem solution. We say, look, there's a total science to this where you can have predictable outcomes. And then here's kind of presenting the solution. Top secret number 1, selling a course works. Secret 2, then comes the planning. Secret 3, happy students, happy wallet. Problem, solution. And then we're going to dive right into 5, which is rapport. This is like kind of backstory, background, whatever. And so this is when you're going to talk about why you. So now that we've presented the solution, why am I presenting the solution? Why am I teaching this? What do I have to even say about this topic? Julie and I have like the fun mad scientist behind this kind of thing in our little lab coats, and it's supposed to look not very Not very professional. It's supposed to be funny. This isn't your place for your bio. This is a place of like, why am I teaching this and why do I know this works? And so we talk about only about us up to the point of like how it's applied. Because we do this, this is why we're doing this. Out of a 10,000 students, 7 million in sales, some of the best courses in the market that people use, finish to see results from, we're bringing that formula to you. So we just kind of like throw in that like rapport piece. So here's why you can trust me. That takes us to number 6, which is the announcement. This is the announcement of the offer. Okay, all that. And this funny thing is that most people start with the announcement and this is wrong. So you have to build up why, the why. You're thinking about the why first and then you go into the announcements. So now we're at the announcement. If you're ready to brainstorm, build, and complete the best course you've ever created, remember we actually said that at the top. So we're repeating that and say, okay, now that you're ready, now you see what we're saying, now you agree with us, join us in the lab with Course Chemist, right? So you see, this is what the announcement is. We talk about who it's for. We're talking about things that they're gonna like overcome. And then we really dive into the next thing, which is going to be number 7, and that's going to be features and benefits. So this is really like where if you had modules or something like that, or even if this was a service where you would talk about the different like pieces of the service, like week 1, we do this, week 2, however you're going to break it down. Feel free to look this over on your own time to kind of see how we did this. It's really cool how we have kind of like a headline or sort of takeaway, the information, and then exactly what you're going to walk away with, you're going to learn how. So make sure you guys look this over because this stuff's really good. This is one of our highest converting landing pages. That's why we use this as an example. That'll be your features, and then we walk into kind of benefits, bonuses, whatever you have in there. That was your number 7, your features and benefits. Now we're going to go into number 8, which is the offer stack. So the offer stack is where we're going to stack up the offer, like the value, the value stack. You either call it offer stack or value stack. Okay, in a nutshell, we told you everything that's included. Now we're going to write it in like, listed out form, right? We're going to have it in bullet form really in a way. And so we're going to say inside you're going to receive, and then we like listed out all those modules, what the values are, also all the radioactive bonuses, what those are, what the values are, plus even more bonuses we haven't revealed yet. And then we have the price. Very important to have the 3 in your offer stack. You need a total value. You need the regular price for like what you would normally sell it for, and then today's price. And so you always need these 3. Of course, you want like to have, the credit card information so they know the purchasing. But again, you're going to have all of those 3 in here, and you see how they're listed out here. And that is actually going to bring us to sprinkle in social proof. So here we actually just did screenshots, but you'll see in some of our other courses, we have them written out with photos. We just really threw these in here as is to show that they were real, that you can trust us, they're believable, we didn't just make them up, there were actual screenshots. One thing that you need to know is not only do you need the social proof or the testimonials, but you actually need to sprinkle them throughout. So really, we could have put them anywhere here or a little earlier. They didn't have like a natural place as far as this one, but we actually do have them, if you didn't notice, right here. And so we actually have them right in the beginning. Love the step-by-step authenticity. Julie and Kathy made launching easy, right? So like we have some really cool testimonials here. My confidence has grown exponentially. So we actually technically did have it right at the bat. You probably just didn't notice it because I was going through it fast. But you can have them sprinkled all throughout. It's fine. Sometimes it's weird to have them in the problem or solution area because it's like you haven't even started selling me anything yet. From what I do, I don't ever really put testimonials or social proof until after the announcement. And so that's the 6th section is the announcement. And so usually I announce, okay, I'm selling you something. And then now you understand I'm selling you something. Really, you can put in the testimonials or the social proof anywhere, but definitely is a great place to put it right after the offer stack because you're like asking for money. Anytime you're asking for money, you want to have some kind of a testimonial to soften the ask. This is my rule of thumb. Anytime you have a button that says I'm gonna buy, soften it with a testimonial. So sprinkle those throughout, social proof or testimonial. We have an FAQ here. You don't always have to have an FAQ. It's one of the things that we do have in here, but I didn't include that in my 10 because it doesn't always have to be in there. And so you'll see I actually repeated the offer stack again after the FAQs because we're kind of scrolling through. We're gonna come to our number 10 and it is the close. So this is the last thing and it is really important. And I see so many landing pages that are missing this, the close. I don't know why. People will just close right here with the cart, which you can, and technically we did actually too, and it's okay to have a cart as your last thing, but you need a close right before it. So either end with a close or end with your cart or end with a button that will bump you back up to the cart towards the bottom. If we didn't have this, if we had yes, I'm ready to formulate my course, and when you click on it, it's going to bounce you back up to the last offer stack, that's totally fine, but you have to close it out. You have to be like, okay, cool. You've reached the end of this page. You've read every little bit and you're still not convinced. What are you waiting for? And honestly, at this point, you really want to write based on what really are they waiting for? What could be the last thing that just they need to hear? What's that reassurance they need at this last moment? Here we say, it's your turn to build something that will return long-term profitability and visibility back to you and your brand, right? So we're like giving you permission. Hey, it's your turn. Let's do this. Like instead of just reading, like let's get off the sidelines, let's go, right? And so when we have like a little bit of a kind of like, we get it. We know where you're at. We've been there, right? So how many times have you scrolled on Facebook, seen an ad for a course that you totally had the idea for, but someone beat you to it? Yeah, I know. Us too. How many times have you started a course and then abandoned it because you got to module 3 and were paralyzed where to take the program next? We hear this every single day. All of these reasons and more might be why you haven't realized your course creation goals yet or feeling nervous to dive into Course Chemist. So we're being completely honest here, like very transparent. We totally get it if you're questioning, and you're almost like warning, if they don't take advantage of this, what happens next? Like what is the cons if they choose to do nothing? You're basically closing it out saying, here's what happens if you don't join today, right? Or here's what could happen. Obviously you don't want it to be doom and gloom, but this, we actually went a little bit more positive with this. Let this day be the last day you ever have any of those "why can't I get my stuff together about this course" feelings ever again. Get Course Chemist for $197 for limited time and build the best program you've ever created. So you see how that just like closes it out. We've given you all the options. Now it's up to you. Let's do this, right? And then we closed it out with another offer stack. I think that a lot of times if we just put ourselves in the seat of the buyer and understanding what our thought process would be, like what are we thinking, what's kind of popping into our mind, what are we worried about, what are these things, and just really kind of writing your page as you were them, and what would you need to hear if you were this brand new person that didn't understand this, had this problem, and you really wanted the solution. What would you want to hear? How would you want them to make you feel? That's really the way that we write all of our copy for our landing pages, for our emails, for our social, all of the things. So if you thought this was helpful, make sure you give a like and a subscribe, and check out our other videos all about landing pages, sales page design, automation, hooking them all up, lead magnets. In the sales funnel front, we have you totally covered. All right, guys, see you on the next one.